Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy, and there's going to be many, many more to follow. I think we're going to see the Armageddon of bankruptcy filings coming up. And one of the reasons why I think that all these people are going to file bankruptcy is because they don't understand their customers. And I got some good examples today, and we're going to talk about it. So, Spirit Airlines filed for bankruptcy. I saw it coming a month ago, made a video, and there was comments like this, basically saying that you don't know what you're talking about. And one of the things is, I know I can see patterns. It doesn't require you to be a rocket scientist to see when something isn't going as smoothly as possible. When companies are trying to nickel and dime you, coming up with ways how they can just squeeze 30 cents out of a dollar, you know that their financials aren't doing great. And this brings me to another video about all these car dealers right here, because it's also not looking good. So let's look at Toyota. And people say, oh, Toyota, reliability, all these things, that's why you bought it. And I actually looked at it and said, hey, why do people buy Toyotas? And I asked AI, and it said one of the main reasons was reliability, right? So now let's look at the lawsuits that are starting to pile up for Toyota. And it is, what is it for? Tacoma lawsuits, transmission problems. So 2024 Tacoma transmission lawsuit, November 13th, class action lawsuit. So somebody's going to make a shit ton of money, and it's not going to be the owners, it's going to be the lawyers, right? Then Toyota has a $500 million problem with their Tundra engines, right? And you're still charging $60,000, $70,000 for these Tundras. They're sitting right over there while you know that, hey, the engine might blow up, right? So that's $500 million. What does that result into? Drum roll, please. 6 months stocks down 20%. Not too bad, not too bad. Could be worse. But hey, shit like that isn't good. And when you know your customer base, what do they want? Reliability. So when you're starting to tinker around with new technologies, trying to do stuff, it's gonna hurt your brand, and it's gonna hurt you, right? So now we're looking at Stellantis, another one of these icons that just doesn't understand their customers. $100,000 trucks, off the roof, out of this world pricing that most Americans can't afford. Look at their stocks, down 41% from the past 6 months. Why? Nobody can afford these super expensive Rams, these grand, these Grand Wagoneers, $100,000+. Normal people in the US cannot afford this. And if you can't afford a $100,000 car, you go to something else. You're not gonna get a Grand Wagoneer, you're gonna go to another sector. You're gonna go to Mercedes or something else that has the brand, the credibility to charge $100,000. You get the nice features when people say, "Ooh, you got a Mercedes or a nice BMW." But no, you still are trying to catch that market share, and this is not what your brand's about. So, not looking good. And now let's look at somebody that's actually going up and understands their market. What is it? It's Ferrari. Who would have thought? So I saw this video the other day from somebody that went to the Ferrari dealer, and they said Ferrari dealers are not allowed to charge markups on their cars. Ferrari, this high brand that can actually afford it, put huge stipulations on their dealers and has them on a tight leash. And now let's look at the 6 month stock. Oh, it's up. What a shocker. If you put a tight leash on them, all of a sudden they start behaving. But if you have them run loose and go crazy, you're gonna have a disaster, right, on your hands. So what do? You should take a book out of it. You should take a note out of Ferrari's book. What do they know? They stay true to their core customer. What does that mean? If your customer is looking for reliability, if they're looking for power, if they're looking for something small, SUV, something minivan, you stick with it, and you only make minor changes over time to make sure that your customers come back to you because of it. But then we're like, oh, let's just redesign everything. Let's come up with AI. Let's throw AI in the wheel caps and throw AI on the hood emblem so everything's AI powered. And it's gonna hurt you in the long run. And then you see, oh, Ferrari doesn't charge markups, and you gotta have a good standing with the dealer. So what does that do? Let's think about it. Oh yeah, that makes that you as a Ferrari salesperson need to be smart, and you can't just not respond, because I did the video like a few days ago where I actually was looking at getting a Hyundai or something for Ali, and guess what? Till this day, I've not gotten a quote, haven't gotten an email, and they have all that. They have all that since like, I don't know, Saturday. So what takes it so long to send out an email with a lease incentives? It's all these things that really, really hurt you. And when you're thinking about it, so when you think about it, oh, somebody got pulled over, illegal U-turn. So when you think about it, and you're like, hey, I have salespeople that aren't doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I cannot follow up with customers, you're losing people. You're losing people. And how do you avoid that? You gotta have CRMs. You gotta train your salespeople. And I'm always saying to you guys that you gotta, as a business owner, as a manager of these sales reps, of these high ups, you gotta bring in these people that care about the organization. And now you're like, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means if you are in any kind of sales organization, if you're in any type of organizations, you gotta make sure that you follow up. You gotta make sure that you meet the customer where they want to be at. And if you're not gonna do that in this market where you're charging so much money, it's not gonna happen. And one newsflash for you, if you're working in the car sales, it's one of the easier type of sales. Imagine selling life insurance where you have no product where they can actually see. If you have a ship box and you're gonna get them into a Mercedes, you can clearly see, I'm gonna get you from this to this. Transformation, done, complete, right? And all you gotta do is remove the objections. But if you're not even gonna have the power to send it out, the emails, the follow-ups, enter into a CRM, do stuff, then I'm sorry, you do not belong in sales. Maybe you should go in the front desk, be a service advisor, or do something else. Because if you're not hungry for the sales, you shouldn't be doing it. You should not be doing it. What you need to do is you need to be looking at, hey, how can I make the most amount of money? And I don't know, if you're not in sales for the money, then I don't know. If you're in the sales for the process and selling cars and having a challenge and doing that, I think you're in the wrong industry. Because if you're in sales and you're the first hurdle of your dealership's representation, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. And for my own company, if that would happen, and I would notice that this salesperson has a 3-strike rule. This is what it goes like. The 3-strike rule. You have a customer, you didn't follow up. Okay, why didn't you follow up? Okay, and I would say, make sure it doesn't happen again. If I get that word from somebody that this happened again, then I would say, why did that happen? And we are, as human beings, are so good at just coming up with excuses, right? We say, oh, my mom's not feeling good today. Oh, my dog wasn't good. Oh, I had to pick up my kid from daycare. Oh, I had this. And it is all excuses. And so we always, in our mind, are trying to justify the cost with just whatever we feel like. Because I can make excuses today to not make this video. It's a little cold. Can't do it today. Or I can't do this tomorrow. And it's excuses that are gonna cost you all these sales. And all of a sudden you have 50, 60 people that are stacked up in your CRM that you haven't followed up with. How much money is that gonna cost your dealership? How much money is that gonna cost you your business? So if you are in the world of business and you have salespeople like that, you need to out them. You need to say, yeah, let's move you to the service advisor spot because you clearly can't do sales. And now, in times like this, where all these stocks are down, it's hard to sell anything, and you're not following up, this is not good times. It's not good times. You need people that will actually go and actually find things and go and make stuff happen. That's why good salespeople are hard to find, and you just got to go out and find them. It's not like these people that are standing outside are going to do something for you. You got to train them. You got to use tools like they have on Monday.com or whatever to reel them in. You gotta reel them in. You cannot let them go loose and just do whatever they want to do. You want to have a process that is smooth, that's customer friendly, customer oriented, and don't let people slip through the cracks. Because when you're looking at it and you have email addresses, you have all this, those, in my world as a marketer, as a business owner, all this, that is worth pure money. That is worth a lot of money. Because if you have email addresses, you have all these other things, then you can send follow-ups. You can send, hey, we're hosting this event. We're hosting a car show. We're doing all this, trying to get them in. Have some salespeople going over, say, hey, we're hosting this. Can I help you find another car? Well, we have great offers on these leads, and you've been a customer already from us, so you might like the product. And one thing I've noticed is if people like you, if people like what you stand for, if people like you and they want to do business with you, it is easier for you to sell them again than it is to get a new customer. So if you like the process and you've been shopping at this dealership before and you have the same salesperson or you have the same person, it might be way easier for you to sell them again. Be like, hey, I see your Tacoma is 2019. Are you interested in upgrading? They might say, yeah, I am, or no, I'm not. Be like, hey, when are you thinking about it? You put it in a CRM. Give John a call in a year or so. Just follow up. And this is what you need to be doing. But nowadays, it's all about the flashiness. It's all about all these nonsense tracking of, oh, how many people walk into the door. And no, you need to see how many people you can actually convert and how many people you can reconvert down the line. Because you can easily get somebody 3 years ago, get them to buy another one, or hey, your lease is up. I got great lease incentives. We'd love to get you your car. But if you have salespeople that aren't going to follow up, it's just not going to happen. So you got to be super proactive about it. And this is what causes Spirit failure. This is going to cause Stellantis to fail. This is going to cause all these other companies to fail because they just don't have the vision. You as a team leader need to say, hey, our goal is to have 100 sales a month. And I'm going to start a new series because I'm going to build the biggest job search community platform out there where we're going to help the most amount of job seekers for free. Well, it's community based, right? So there is going to be no charge to it, but it's going to be community based, right? So I'm building that. And if you want an invite, shoot me a message on LinkedIn and I'll put you on the list and you will see it more. It means I'm going to document my journey. I'm going to tell you guys how I do it because people tell me, oh, nowadays it's impossible to do all these things. No, it's not. You just need to go out there, do it, and fail your way to success. People always say, oh, you can't do nothing nowadays. You can't. There's opportunities everywhere, but you got to pounce on them and you got to prey on these opportunities that are aligned with your knowledge and not invest in something that you don't know nothing about. And be careful with what you pick, right? Because if you pick something, you've got to stick with it. So I'm documenting my journey. I'm going to start doing this and I'm building it right now with my team. We have 55 members right now. I have it on here. And I'm going to start showing you guys how I do it and how we actually built this. So if you want to build something like it, or if you're like, I can't start anything, you can literally start anything. I saw this guy that is now teaching people on how to buy phones from Facebook Marketplace and then flipping them on eBay. And he's actually making, like, he replaced his salary, his daytime job salary working for T-Mobile. So he goes in and he kind of flips these cell phones that he buys on Facebook Marketplace. And he says, I work less and I make the same amount of money. And all it requires is me kind of driving around and actually negotiating deals. I make sure that they're not stolen or anything else. And it is possible for you to hugely supplement your income, especially if you live in the United States. If you can't make it here with the land of possibilities, I don't know. But I know in Switzerland, I could not be doing this because the market's so small and people don't want to really try out new things. But here in the US, man, this is where you gotta be. And if you're here, you are in a wonderland of just opportunity upon opportunity. Here, it's actually the problem that you have too many opportunities and you don't know where you wanna go and what you wanna do. Because I'm at a spot where I need to turn down opportunities. And I say I love to do it, but it's gonna distract my focus. It's gonna actually hurt me in the long run, because it's just not good to have that many opportunities and have your head just in a space where it's like, oh, I have all these other things going on. So you gotta be true to that and just laser focused, and you can do it. I know that the person at Trader Joe's that I go shop in the morning, he runs his side business, and he says, hey, Trader Joe's pays my healthcare, pays my benefits, and afterwards, that is all money for me to just have fun, take my family on nice trips. And in the morning, I work for healthcare, I work for taxes, I work for all this other stuff, and everything after that is just pure fun money. And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to teach you guys on how I do it, and then maybe you learn something, maybe you can grow your business from it, and I'll teach you step by step on how I do it, so maybe you can do it too. And yeah, absolutely amazing. And let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Just try to answer some of them. And yeah, if you haven't, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to hit $12,000 in revenue so I can buy some software that I want to use on the channel. So think about becoming a channel member. It's $2.90 a month. I'm gonna document more of my personal journey on there. So let me know what you guys want to see, and please like and subscribe. I love you guys. Stay true to yourself. And this is it. This is Las Vegas. And still got my little Mustang right here. And I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to tune in.